Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of AIIMS Darbhanga in Bihar worth more than 1,260 crore rupees on Wednesday. Prime Minister also dedicated multiple developmental projects worth around 12,100 crore rupees. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of multiple national highways projects worth 5,070 crore rupees. Prime Minister also flagged off train services in the Jhanjharpur-Lokaha Basar section and dedicated 18 Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendras at various railway stations across India. After visiting Bihar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a public rally in East Indian state of Jharkhand Sarath district. Prime Minister accused the state government of dividing the people for electoral gains and urged the people to stay united. Addressing a public gathering in the Godda district of Jharkhand, Prime Minister thanked the people for their support and love who were present in large numbers. India's President Draupadi Murmu reached Silvassa on the second day of her visit to the Union Territory of Daman-Diu and Dadra Nagar Haveli. During her visit, the President inaugurated a state-of-the-art school and virtually unveiled Yatri Niwas and a Space Phase 2. Addressing the gathering, President Murmu said that expansion in tourism will create new employment opportunities in the Union Territory. Professor Dr. Nguyen Xuan Thang, a Politburo member of the Communist Party of Vietnam, called in India's Vice President Jagdeep Thankar. Both the leaders discussed issues of mutual interest. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud held a bilateral meeting in the capital New Delhi on Wednesday. The two leaders discussed the India-Saudi Arabic strategic partnership. In his opening remarks, Dr. S. Jaishankar said their country's partnership is premised on progress and focused on the future of India. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister said the relations between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and India are built on a long-standing foundation of cooperation and mutual respect. India's Ministry of External Affairs in a press conference announced that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Nigeria, Brazil and Guyana from the 16th till the 21st of November. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Nigeria from 16th till the 17th of this month, Brazil from 18th to 19th and will visit Guyana on the 19th and 21st of November. As the Maharashtra Assembly elections approach, Union Home Minister and BJP leader Amit Shah addressed various election campaigns in the state. He emphasized on economic development under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government and promised to make Maharashtra a 1 trillion economy. In an exclusive interaction with an Indian news agency, veteran investor Mark Mobius, he said that India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is capable of having a dialogue with all the sides of the political spectrum on a global stage and deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts. Voting for Phase 1 of the Assembly elections was held on Wednesday in East Indian state of Jharkhand across 43 constituencies. Polling began at 7 a.m. and concluded by 5 p.m. local time. The second phase of polling will be held on the 20th of November, while votes will be counted on 23rd of November. India's Defence Research and Development Organisation conducted the maiden flight test of long-range land attack cruise missile on Tuesday. Missile with a range of 1,000 km was test-fired from a mobile articulated launcher at the Integrated Test Range in Chandipur, Odisha. The Indian Army has made substantial progress in the phased induction of Project Akash Tir, an advanced air defence system aimed at modernising India's defence framework. The fifth edition of military exercise between India and Vietnam, Winpax 24, was held in Ambala, city of North Indian state of Haryana. The Air Force personnel from both the sides interacted and shared best practices on employment of air assets in the rehabilitation efforts at UN mission. The Indian Army is conducting fire services exercise Ex-Purvi Prahar from the 10th till the 18th of November this year in the forward areas of Arunachal Pradesh. A key feature of this exercise is the integration of innovative technologies that are reshaping the future of military operations. India's Home Ministry has approved Central Industrial Security Forces first ever all-women battalion promoting gender equality. The decision will encourage aspiring women to join CISF's mission to serve the nation and safeguard national strategic assets. India's telecom service provider Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited launched a direct-to-device satellite connectivity service on Wednesday. The Indian Department of Telecommunications called it India's first satellite-to-device service. The fall season continues as domestic market BSE Sensex tanked 984 points to end at 77,691. Nifty crashed 10% from September peak, ended 324 points lower at 23,559. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of December stood at 75,156 rupees per 10 grams on multi-commodity index. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of December stood at 90,100 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Indian rupee ended flat at 84.38 per dollar on Wednesday versus Tuesday's close of 84.39. Dollar scaled 6-month peak as US inflation comes in focus. The US dollar index rose 0.1% to 106.12, up for the fourth straight session. World stocks dropped for a second successive day on Wednesday, jolted by another push higher in US Treasury yields ahead of inflation data that could inform the pace of Federal Reserve policy easing. Crude oil rebounded a touch after hitting to its lowest in 2 weeks on Tuesday after OPEC cut its forecast for global oil demand growth this year. Brent futures added 0.7% to $72.38 a barrel. India's patents and industrial design filings for intellectual property rights doubled between 2018 and 2023, taking the country to the 6th rank. Argentina's inflation rate dipped below 200% for the first time in nearly a year, hitting 193%. Monthly inflation in October eased to 2.7%. US President-elect Donald Trump has named Elon Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to co-lead a newly created Department of Government of Efficiency. Donald Trump announced his former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, to lead the Central Intelligence Agency. Ratcliffe served as the Director of National Intelligence at the end of his first term. Trump has also said he will nominate Fox News Channel host Pete Hegseth to be the Secretary of Defense. Hegseth is an Army National Guard veteran. Trump also announced Mike Huckabee as U.S. Ambassador to Israel under his incoming administration. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump will nominate South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to be the Homeland Security Secretary. Donald Trump will head to the White House for a meeting with President Joe Biden on Wednesday, just a week after winning the 2024 election. The judge overseeing the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's criminal hush money case has put off ruling on whether his conviction should be thrown out on immunity grounds, enabling the prosecutors to weigh next steps following his election victory. Hundreds of staffers cheered for Vice President Kamala Harris as she returned to the White House for the first time since losing last week's presidential election to Donald Trump. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto met with US President Joe Biden at the White House, pledging strong cooperation with the US. The two leaders discussed critical issues. The United States on Tuesday banned all civilian flights to Haiti for a month, a day after 3 jetliners were hit by gunfire. The United States has said that Israel was not violating U.S. law on allowing assistance into Gaza, but has called for further progress. U.S. had set a deadline on the 13th of November to comply with its law on permitting humanitarian assistance. Israeli army claims to dismantle Hezbollah's weapons and missile facilities located under Beirut's southern suburbs of the Dahiyeh. Israeli military had warned locals to evacuate the area ahead of an airstrike. In a video message to the Iranians, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's government feared its own citizens more than Israel, urging them to imagine a free future. The United States carried out strikes against Iranian-aligned targets in Syria. The military said that the strikes were in response to recent attack on US personnel at petrol base Shaddadi. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Wednesday as the outgoing Biden administration sought to cement support for Ukraine ahead of Donald Trump's return as the president. Blinken warned the deployment of North Korean troops alongside Russian forces fighting on the Ukrainian border, demanding a firm response. Germany is set to hold snap elections on February the 23rd after the collapse of Chancellor Olaf Scholz's three-party coalition last week. In Sri Lanka, preparations for parliamentary election are underway as the island nation will go to the polls to elect 225 members to the parliament. Polling will be held on Thursday at over 13,400 polling stations. Counting of votes will begin at 4:15 p.m. The climate summit COP29 entered its third day on Wednesday as heads of government delivered their statements in Azerbaijani capital Baku. Speaking at the COP29 climate summit, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni called for a balanced energy mix that will include gas, biofuel and other resources during the transition to cleaner energy. We are heading for a short break. We'll be right back.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. Mount Lewatobi, Laki in Indonesia's eastern island of Flores continue to spew ash and lava. More than 12,000 people have been evacuated. The authorities said evacuation figures could increase further as Mount Lewatobi, Laki has been erupting repeatedly since the 3rd of November. Several flights were cancelled to and from Indonesia's Bali following volcanic eruptions. Passengers leaving the island were stranded at the airport. Fire crews battled to contain large places as new wildfires burn in US northeast. Heavy smoke-filled air has prompted health warnings in several areas. Firefighters in Massachusetts worked to contain dozens of fires amid strong winds and drought conditions. Weather officials have issued a red alert for much of that state. Spain's Paporta prepares for torrential rain after recent flood disaster. A new storm warning has put the Valencia region on fresh alert. The rescue operations are underway in Spain. Emergency services have moved some people from homes at high risk of flooding. Schools were also shut down. Firefighters help flood victims as heavy rains hit Sicily. In Irale, near Catania, a person was rescued after a swollen river flooded the ground floor of the house. Severe smog continued to engulf Lahore, Pakistan's second largest city on Wednesday. UNICEF calls for greater efforts to reduce pollution. Toxic smog that engulfed New Delhi worsened on Wednesday as seasonal winter haze set in. Air quality index continues to be in the very poor category. London's Kew Gardens opened their annual Light Trail. Visitors this Christmas will get to walk through a festive nighttime trail that uses slides to bring the garden to life. Most important aspects of Christmas at Kew is for people to bond with nature. The annual trail to run until Sunday, the 5th of January next year. Vogue opens a new immersive exhibition exploring the history of the fashion runway show from early 20th couture salons to modern-day fashion shows in London. The exhibition titled Vogue Inventing the Runway features archive footage over the decades projected on giant walls at the Lightroom Gallery space. The extremely rare 37-carat Aga Khan emerald and diamonds brooch was sold for $8.8 million at Christie's in Geneva. The brooch was a gift from Prince Aga Khan to his bride, Nina Daya, in 1960. British author Samantha Harvey wins 2024 Booker Prize Award for their first Nobel, Orbital, the first book set in space to win the prize. It's the biggest-selling book on the shortlist across the UK. Samantha Harvey is the first woman to win this award since 2019. She was named the winner of $64,000 prize money and trophy at a ceremony held at Old Billingsgate in London. Brazil's Sao Paulo Zoo unveiled a new exhibit site for the endangered Spix macaws, also known as the little blue macaw. The zoo is offering the public a rare glimpse of the species. The macaws are listed as a critically endangered species in Brazil. The Sao Paulo sanctuary houses only 27 blue macaws. It aims at aiding their recovery and eventual reintroduction into the wild. 8 art conservators have begun a painstaking process to remove a layer of varnish from Dutch painter Rembrandt's giant night watch masterpiece in Amsterdam. Restoration of Rembrandt's night watch at the National Gallery in Amsterdam could take years. The 15th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition of the Zhuhai Air Show opened in Zhuhai city of China. The biennial aerospace trade show will run until Sunday. China's aerospace industry took the spotlight on the first day of the air show. Russia also flew its most advanced fighter jets, the Su-57, to Zhuhai for its first air show abroad. Largest ever performance of a Khmer 5-tone musical ensemble was recently organized in Vietnam. The traditional music form involves 5 unique musical instruments made from different materials. The performance in Vietnam featured 200 artisans, musicians and performers who played 20 sets of instruments across 5 different acts to establish the record. India showcased its finest weaves at the 18th International Apparel and Textile Fair in Dubai. The country highlighted its rich heritage and modern capabilities in textile production. The biannual 3-day fair in Dubai will conclude on the 14th of November. The fair serves as a hub for trend setting and shaping the style landscape of the Gulf region. The 10-day festival of Sri Ram Rathotsav began in Indian state of Maharashtra. On the main day, the statues worshipped in the temple are taken around the streets in a lavishly decorated chariot. Poland blends faith and technology. At the chapel lies an AI-powered altar equipped with voice recognition. People can ask all the questions that they used to be ashamed to ask a priest. Irish student Olivia Humphreys bags International James Dyson Award 2024 for her device Athena. It is a prototype for a portable chemotherapy scalp cooling device. Iconic British pop rock band Coldplay has announced another show in India as part of their Music of the Spheres World Tour. The band will perform at Ahmedabad's Narendra Modi Stadium on January the 25th, following their confirmed performances in Mumbai on 18th and 19th of January. The trailer for the new movie Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy was released on the 12th of November. The romantic comedy movie starring Hollywood actors Renée Zellweger and Hugh Grant to release in the US on streaming platform Peacock on 13th of February. Hollywood actors Billy Bob Thornton and Demi Moore attended the premiere of new Paramount Plus television series Landman in Los Angeles. The show, written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, will begin streaming on Paramount Plus on the 16th of November. India's official entry to Oscars 2025 Lapata Ladies has been renamed Lost Ladies as it heads to the international stage. The movie is directed by Kiran Rao. Bollywood actor Vicky Kaushal took to social media to reveal the first look of his upcoming movie Maha Avatar with a striking poster. Bollywood's 1995 iconic action drama Karan Arjun is set to be re-released in the theatres worldwide on 22nd November on its 30th anniversary. Indian fantasy action film Kanguva starring Surya, Bobby Deol and Disha Patani is all set to be released on 14th November. India all set to take on South Africa in the third T20 on Wednesday at Supersport Park. West Indies fast bowler Alzarri Joseph is set to return for the third T20 international against England. Ahead of Border Gavaskar Trophy, Australia's Waka ground has gone into complete lockdown for India's training sessions with some stringent measures in place. Indian boxer Amit Pangal trains hard at Sports Authority of India's National Boxing Academy in Rohtak under high-performance coach and former Indian chief coach. Indian badminton star PV Sindhu advanced to round of 16 at the Kumamoto Masters Japan Super 500 tournament. Sindhu defeated Thailand's Busanen. Lakshya Sen faced disappointing defeat against Malaysia's Leong Jun despite taking the first game of the match. World number 1 chess player Magnus Carlsen has returned to India as the 2024 Chess India tournament is all set to kick in at Kolkata's Dhono Dhanyo Auditorium. In squash, India's Joshna Chinnappa advanced to the women's singles quarter-final of Monte Carlo Classic 2024. Former world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul held public workouts. And Italian top seed Yannick Sinner moved closer to the ATP Tour final semi-finals with a 6-4, 6-4 victory over American Taylor Fritz. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.